Welcome to the Sunday morning meditation service. And today we're going to do a chant. It's a call and response. And this is to just set us up into that space so that this whole service, even when Jack is speaking, you're in a openness to the Spirit hearing within you what you need to do at this time. I feel that we are in a time of enormous change, and we want that change to be for the good. And so it's so important at this time that everybody meditates so that you get divine direction all the time of what you're supposed to be doing. It will bring you peace. It'll bring you an intuitiveness that you've always had, but it will be so heightened. Just that commitment of 15 minutes, half hour, every day. And you pick the same time every day. And read something spiritual. I always read the Course in Miracles. But anything that makes you feel that inner peace, that inner knowing, that you're developing a stronger inner knowing. So we're going to chant right now. Carry me
Good morning, everyone. You know that unity people have an aversion to the thought of being saved, which is the way traditional Christians sometimes relate to their journey with God. But it is not a limited idea, because when you look at our society today worldwide, you get the definition possibly of what being saved really means. Being saved from our selves, being saved from our human ignorance. So I'm going to speak about that this morning. An explorer went deep into the jungles of Africa to contact a tribe, a remote tribe, that had never seen a television, a newspaper, a car, not even a radio. And he had been there before, and he had brought some trinkets with him this time. But on his journey to make contact, this full-length mirror that he brought as a gift for those people, he had placed up against a tree while he was making camp with his men. And surprisingly, a strange savage came out of the bush and saw himself in this full-length mirror and took his spear and just destroyed the image in the mirror, shattering the mirror to pieces. And the explorer had his interpreter go up and ask the savage why he did that. And the savage replied, "He killed me, I kill him first." We chuckle within at the ignorance of this thought. But in our high-tech, highly intelligent Western culture, which is now worldwide practically, we suffer from a greater ignorance. We don't actually recognize the effect that our beliefs have upon how we see or what we see. Let me be clear about this. I am not saying that from my perspective I am creating other people or creating circumstances, but how I see other people and how I see circumstances is quite often determined and greatly determined by my deepest beliefs. Everything I see is filtered through my own personal beliefs. A Course in Miracles speaks to this over and over again. Can we have this first PowerPoint, please? You can read this in the old text, page 192, or the new edition, 208. It is impossible not to believe what you see, but it is equally impossible to see what you do not believe. Perceptions are built up on the basis of experience, and experience leads to beliefs. It is not until beliefs are fixed that perceptions stabilize. In effect, then, what you believe, you do see. Now, this is something we have a difficult time embracing, because we have been conditioned, as this is referring to, conditioned from birth, to see ourselves in terms of separation. I see myself through the illusion or the belief that I am a separate body-mind in a world of separate phenomena, and that I am a separate objective observer of the conditions and people and circumstances I perceive around me. However, A Course in Miracles is correct in pointing this out. This is not true. Each of us lives in a different world because each of us lives in the world of his or her perceptions, our own set or collection of beliefs and biases and fears and desires. They affect how we are seeing life. And so it is incumbent upon us to enter some type of practice where we can purify the mind of the illusions we have grown accustomed to live by and live in. And it may be that this truth would be required to save us from ourselves. How do I see others? I mean, basically, when I grew up, many experiences occurred in my childhood and then in my early adulthood. And of course, I learned to have certain responses to certain types of people, conditions, or circumstances. If I believe someone to be threatening, that's how they will appear to me, or friendly, or truthful, or not truthful, deceptive. All of this may come about as a result of my experiences in growing up and living my life. And so now I have this whole set of beliefs, biases, if you will, that I need, I believe, to protect myself and to hold this limited definition of self secure in my experience. So I must hold myself separate and apart, and I'm still reacting to what seems to be this phenomena outside myself that rises separately, completely from my perception. And I simply must react to it. We have to arrive at the place through spiritual practice, perhaps, where we recognize this is not true. That our perceptions are based upon limited, quite often false information. And our definition of life is completely false. False in the sense that we see life in terms of separation, which is not true. We see through the mind that literally encapsulates a certain level or group of people or conditions or circumstances, and then judges whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, to be embraced or to be rejected. But that's simply not true. There is no such thing as an isolated, separate set of conditions or circumstances. Everything is one. Everything is one ongoing experience. One intelligence, one power, one presence, living through all of us. So we have to be very careful and very awake in the process of living. We suppose that there are justifiable issues and conflicts. There's justifiable blame, justifiable condemnation. We react and we attack all that seems to be separate and apart from us. and we do it falsely because our consciousness may not yet have awakened to the reality of the divine intelligence and the presence in every single person, condition, circumstance, wherever it is. Do you see the way out of the confusion, the conflict, and the fear that is generated by living in a world of illusion, of separation? You see how the way out is into the enlightened state of awareness, to live above the ordinary mundane thinking that we were born into, raised in, so that we have forever been reacting to conditions and circumstances as though they are separate and apart from us, when in fact our beliefs color the circumstances, the conditions, the relationships over and over again. And so how can we ever have peace of mind unless we actually become enlightened to the fact that there is this ongoing oneness of all things? There is only one power, one presence, one expression, which is everything. You will hear me say, I will use it as a meditation, there is only one everything. So we get involved in our personal perceptions as though they're real, creating conflicts for ourselves and others. Conflicts like pro-choice, pro-life, affirmative action or not, gays and straights, bikers or drivers, leash laws, gun laws, in-laws. There's pro-vaccinations, anti-vaccinations. One thing we should understand as we continue on our journeys is this: the illusionary definition of life comes through the idea of being a separate ego, body-encapsulated self. And this you may discover if you are awake in the process of living. The ego needs an enemy. It needs something to blame, something to be better than, smarter than, bigger than, more important than. And that continues to bolster it in life, but it also is the underlying cause of man's inhumanity to man, the underlying error, the underlying sin of man's consciousness. And you can't see a greater representation of this than Vladimir Putin today. He epitomizes an egocentric perspective that we all suffered from the beginning. It was natural and necessary to develop an ego at first, to learn about life and its things in life that are dangerous and that need to be dealt with. But there is a place where we must transcend this illusion of self. And look where it leads. Think of Vladimir Putin. Think about the insanity of this on that epitomized character. We hardly can see the insanity in ourselves, having so many conflicts in our own lives and blame and consternation. But look at Vladimir Putin. He can't embrace, he can't accept the idea of an independent Ukraine existing beside him. He doesn't want an independent country existing beside him. He wants to possess it and control it, which is the nature of his own egocentric idea of life and how it works. Think of how insane it is to be bombing that country into rubble, and to think that at some point he actually may conquer that country. But what would he have conquered except a population of people, millions of people, who will never stop hating him and attempting to destroy whatever he's attempting to build on his own with that country? Only the most insane person could believe there would be any good developed to become out of that type of insane approach to possession. It will never happen. He may conquer that country. He may finally bring it down so totally. He will never, never, ever, 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 as long as he lives, ever gain peace of mind in having that country. The universe will not allow it. His lessons, like ours, are before his face. Give it up. Surrender the illusion of your need to possess, to conquer, to control, to manipulate, and become present in the majesty of being alive, present in the majesty of the diversity of all people. Look past the foibles of all others and bring peace to all your relationships. So we have this as well from A Course in Miracles. Can we have this up here? You can read this in the old text, page 200, new edition, 215. Understand that you do not respond to anything directly, but to your interpretation of it. Your interpretation thus becomes the justification for the response. That is why analyzing the motives of others is hazardous to you. If you decide that someone is really trying to attack you, or desert you, or enslave you, you will respond as if he had actually done so, having made his error real to you. To interpret error is to give it power, and having done this, you will overlook truth. The truth is, there is one power, one presence, worthy of being blessed, worthy of being served. So there's only one ideal that can heal the fear-based, fragmented perception of illusion, of separation. And that comes with a willingness to wholly pause, H-O-L-Y, pause. To become so desirous of entering a state of insight, flowing peace and love, that you are willing to catch yourself when negative emotions are rising, and instead of reacting, you pause. You wholly pause. You pause and you allow yourself to realize, I could see peace in this. I could see peace. And peace is my goal. And as you do that and allow yourself not to react, but to hold the ideal that peace is the most important element. It's the measure of one's understanding. To do that is to receive insight from within. This intelligence that gives us life and breath will relate to you how to be appropriate in every seeming confrontation. It may be that you'll just remain silent, or it may be you'll be given some thought that you can pursue that will bring about a change in that relationship, a change to harmony and understanding. The holy pause. The Master Alan Watts speaks to our dilemma this way. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? He has a book titled The Book, and in that book he quotes T.G. Harris. Our generation knows a cold hell, solitary confinement in this life, without a God to damn or save it, until man figures out the trap and hunts the ultimate ground of being. He has no reason at all for his existence. Empty, finite, he knows only that he will soon die. Since this life has no meaning and he sees no future life, he is not really a person, but a victim of self-extinction. The ultimate ground of being is Paul Tillich's decontaminated term for God, and would also do for the self of the world. Look at that. The ultimate ground of being is Paul Tillich's decontaminated term for God, and would also do for the self of the world. I'm going to share this video with you. This is Alan Watts again. Can we have this video, please?
To wake up, you're going to wake up. And if you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just a little, poor little me. And since you're all here and engaged in this sort of inquiry and listening to this sort of lecture, I assume that you're all on the process of waking up. Or else you're teasing yourselves with some kind of flirtation with waking up, which you're not serious about. But I assume maybe you are, not serious but sincere, that you are ready to wake up. So then, when you're in the way of waking up and finding out who you really are, what you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing. The real you is not a puppet which life pushes around. The real deep down you is the whole universe. So then, when you die, you're not going to have to put up with everlasting non-existence, because that's not an experience. A lot of people are afraid that when they die, they're going to be locked up in a dark room forever. And sort of undergo that. But one of the most interesting things in the world, this is a yoga, this is a way of realization. Try and imagine what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Think about that. Children think about it. It's one of the great wonders of life. What will it be like to go to sleep and never wake up? And if you think long enough about that, something will happen to you. You will find out, among other things, that it will pose the next question to you. What was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born. You see, you can't have an experience of nothing. Nature abhors a vacuum. So after you're dead, the only thing that can happen is the same experience, or the same sort of experience as when you were born. In other words, we all know very well that after people die, other people are born. And they're all you. Only you can only experience it one at a time. Everybody is I. You all know you're you. And wheresoever beings exist throughout all galaxies, it doesn't make any difference. You are all of them. And when they come into being, that's you coming into being. You know that very well. Only you don't have to remember the past in the same way you don't have to think about how you work your thyroid gland or whatever else it is in your organism. You don't have to know how to shine the sun. You just do it. Like you breathe. Doesn't it really astonish you that you are this fantastically complex thing? And that you're doing all of this and you never had any education in how to do it?
the holy pause, daily meditation, a willingness to look past the seeming foibles of others, to maintain peace, mystical peace, which opens the consciousness to insight, healing, and love. It takes practice, but one day it will require no discipline, for the joy of it will be your reality. And so now we are going to practice meditation together. We'll begin with our Tibetan bowls calibrated to impact and synchronize and harmonize the 7 chakras of creation. After that, I will share a meditative thought that you can gently focus in consciousness and allow yourself to move with it into your reality. I invite you to consider the reality of oneness. As I use the name of God given to Moses and used by Jesus, I am that I am, that I am. I am they. I am he. I am you. I am she. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know that I am God. I am they, all of them. I am she. I am you. I am me. I am the mountains, the oceans, the stars, and the trees. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know that I am God. I am they. I am she. I am you. I am he. I am the creatures, the forests, and the sea. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Be still and know and feel the peace of being one with me. Be still and know and feel the peace of being one with me. As we go forth from this meditation to those places we seemingly occupy in time and space, let us go forth with a greater determination to be awake while we are living, knowing that peace is the proof of the presence of understanding. Remembering to wholly pause whenever negative thoughts or emotions rise in our experience. Wholly pause and wait and let the illusions pass by. For this opportunity in every moment, let us be grateful. And to this we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And as we're doing this, those of you that are watching this on screen, you have these different ways that you can donate to Unity of Boulder and preserve the truth that is being shared here. While that's taking place and they're preparing to do this, bring to mind that financial gift you'd like to make to Unity. And let's bless that gift with this offering prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.
Oh, Earth Mother, I hear your call. Oh, Earth Mother, I hear your call to honor the sacredness of all life, to honor the sacredness of all life. Oh, Earth Mother, I hear your call. Oh, Earth Mother, I hear your call.
Join me now, please. We dedicate this tithe to the will and the work of the Spirit of truth, the Spirit available to each of us, the Spirit that joins all of us. We dedicate this tithe to the victory of the Spirit of truth. Amen. I've got a couple of announcements that are important. At 12:30 today, we have a Qigong master who's going to be giving a workshop from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. And that will be taking place in Fellowship Hall. And the cost for that workshop is $35. But this guy comes highly recommended. He's actually able to move your consciousness through the types of things Qigong provides. You want to get there if you have the time. 12:30 today. Because of that particular workshop, we've set up fellowship in the lobby. And this is an important fellowship. We have tea, coffee, and fresh baked goods provided by the Youth of Unity. And the Youth of Unity are doing this baked goods sale because they need to raise funds to support some of the people in Unity that can't afford to go to this next rally. So they would like you to, pay for their baked goods, have tea, have coffee, enjoy the fellowship, and you'll be helping them out as well. So that fellowship is taking place in the lobby, though, not in Fellowship Hall, because they'll already be setting up in there and keeping the place clear for this Qigong workshop. It's nice having you that are brave enough to get here. Just think about this someday, maybe soon, enough of us will realize COVID will only go away when we stop believing in it, fearing it. Okay. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
An older person is more consistent on the Sunday morning
But yeah, that's the kind of reality of that, though.
Okay.
My mom's is gonna have the connection to like 10 different old-timer musicians that I just don't even know, possibly, you know?
Absolutely.
Do you have a copy of that? No. You didn't get a copy? No. It was supposed to be sent to you.
Oh, I checked my email. I didn't check it halfway through yesterday.
But I will say, like, I own a nice bass guitar. There you can play some. Like, we could always, as this freeze right here, sacrifice the keys for the bass. But that's, you know, doesn't really cover the position.
Do you want one?
Well, we're getting a feeling of what it would like to do that, so we gotta keep
Get me a copy.
I mean, you know,